What up? You are listening to the Gopher Broke podcast. We are diving into a massive week for your Golden Gophers. We're going to recap the Nebraska beatdown, and then we are going to dive into Iowa week. So be sure to hit subscribe, tap in, and it's time to get it started. What up? You're listening to the Gopher Broke podcast. We are talking Gophers football every week, once or twice a week, depending on if you are catching our live post-game show as well. It is your typical co-host, Kane, Rob, and Tristyn Spann-Ford coming at you live. It's a big week. It's time to bring home the bacon. It is Iowa week. How you feeling? Is the energy different in the Spann-Ford household?
Oh, absolutely. We're all amped up. Everyone is just screaming, "We hate Iowa" for no reason. Out of nowhere. I'll just ask, who do we hate? Iowa. It's a call and response that I love.
It's the correct answer to any question asked. You know, if you're like, what's for dinner night? We hate Iowa. Like, you know, it's just it's
you're not wrong. Right? You can never be wrong.
All right, before we dive into the Big Ten predictions this week and the Gopher preview, recap, and all of that, I do have to ask, what is your gripe of the week?
I love football so much. And so I don't want this to sound like I want less football. The NFL...
I know where you're going.
Has to stop doing doubleheaders. Monday night doubleheaders and these Europe games... They have to stop.
Ridiculous.
Like, I trust me, I want to sit on my couch and I want to spend from Saturday morning all the way until Sunday night watching football. But the thing is, I have to be an adult at some point. And that Sunday morning slate is really nice for me to, oh, look at all the stuff I got done before watching football. As a husband, right. I need that. And the NFL does not want my marriage to last the way they are scheduling these football games. I can't keep doing this. We have to end these international games.
See, my priorities, I've straightened them up. I've gotten to the point where I'm like, look, these are my 3 games I have to tap into this week, and everything else, we'll check the scores. But, there's too much on at once. It's like, you got double headers on Monday nights. I'm like, nah, maybe I'll watch half of one of them games, like if it's a good one. Like, you got to earn my right to watch it now. There's too much out there.
See, I'm dialed on a Saturday. I'm a 2 TV guy. I'm a 2 TV, YouTube TV. So I'm watching 8 games at once at any given time.
Ooh, he's got it locked and loaded.
I don't really miss a lot of NFL games either. Like, we put the kids to bed, I'm watching the game. Yeah, but the Monday night, the doubleheader on Monday nights is just...
Okay. The 9 p.m. start time is just wild.
On a Monday.
I get that you're getting it for the California folks, but 9 p.m., that's 10 p.m. over in New York. I'm telling you, they're not tapped in. So it's like, come on now. We don't need 2 of them. We were good with 1. Let's just do 1 on a Monday.
It's absolutely awful. It's egregious. I don't know. Roger Goodell, fix this. Stop doing it. He wants us to just not have anything else. He's going to wear us out.
He's all about the dollars, but not about the cents, if you get what I'm saying.
Exactly.
Hey, it's
and
too
then
much.
Don't even get me started on the European games. Just stop. Quit them.
I won't. Usually, you can tell they don't care too much about the European games because it's usually matchups that you're like, I'm okay if I miss.
Yeah, we'll wheel the Jags and the Jets out there, and
yeah, exactly.
We're not even giving them a good product, so just stop the games.
Yes, that's the vibe. All right, we're gonna dive into these Big Ten predictions, and we got to talk Nebraska because look, I tried all week, all off season, to show respect to that Nebraska squad, to the Nebraska fans. And the way they responded after this game, I'm done. I'm done with the respect. It's coming out. We're going to talk about it. But first, let's get into these Big Ten predictions. First up, UCLA at Indiana. Do you think UCLA has any chance to pull off this upset?
No, they don't. They are not going to win, but they could cover. It's like a 24-point spread. They could definitely
Oh,
cover.
24-point spread. That's nuts. Yeah, yeah,
It,
yeah. Indiana's winning that game.
they are definitely winning that game.
Kirsten got them right. Number
Yes.
2 in the nation, Indiana, I should say. Give them their respect.
Insane.
Give them their respect. All right, next game, Northwestern at Nebraska. Is Nebraska going to get it right, or were we the end? Were we the downfall of the Cornhuskers and their beliefs?
I would love to think we ended Nebraska's season, but they're definitely going to beat Northwestern at Nebraska.
Dude, I agree with you. I think Nebraska is going to beat Northwestern, but you and we've been calling Northwestern a basketball school.
Hey.
We've been trolling. We've been giving it hard to the Northwestern folks. We've been talking about how, yep, it could be an easy dub. It should be a dub. Lock it up. Look, they're low key doing the same thing Minnesota is doing. They're 5-2. They only lost to a Tulane team and a number 4 Oregon team. They've beaten UCLA, who now looks decent. At first they looked like ass, so I got it, but now they look good. Penn State, who was supposed to be good, but now looks ass. And then Purdue, who also has been up and down and all over the place. So it's still hard to get a real read on this Northwestern team. But look, they're 5-2. They're 1 game away from bowl eligibility. It's time to give them a little bit of credit.
No, they definitely look good. I think if this game was at Northwestern, I would definitely lean Northwestern, but I think Nebraska fans are going to be insane coming off of a loss back at home. So this is a win for the fans.
I feel you. All right, 2 teams that are both looking for their first Big Ten win. Rutgers at Purdue. How are you feeling on that one?
I have not lost faith in Nathan. I think they're putting up points. Like, I think Rutgers could pull it out. But Purdue's quarterback is fun too. That's going to be a good game.
Yeah, it should be a fun one. I'm gonna lean Purdue. I like Ethan, but I just feel like the trajectory, like Purdue's been getting scrappy and kind of close in these games. I guess they weren't close in Northwestern. It was 19-0. But they've been like kind of scrappy, whereas I feel like Rutgers has really just been dropping off more and more each week. So after the Minnesota 3-point loss, they had a almost 20-point loss to Washington, and then they had a 46-point loss to Oregon. So I feel like Rutgers is big time on the downfall right now, so I'm going to go Purdue.
That's fair. Purdue's quarterback is a gamer, so I mean, he definitely could.
Yeah, he reminds me of Baker Mayfield, just the way he plays and the moxie he plays with. All right, Illinois, number 23, Illinois at Washington. How you feeling on that one?
That's a tough travel. Something about going to Washington, I always feel like these teams hate.
No, Washington, they got an unreal home field advantage.
Yeah, it's crazy, but I still do like Illinois. Bielema is that guy.
Bielema's coming off the Ohio State ass whooping. He's looking for revenge.
Exactly.
I got Bielema too. Yep, we're on the same stride for stride. We'll get to the Minnesota-Iowa game here in a bit. 2 more matchups. Wisconsin at Oregon. We both know where we're going with that one, and it's not particularly close.
Oregon, those uniforms they're wearing this weekend are so tough. Did you see those?
I didn't see them. No,
they're wearing these Grateful Dead uniforms. So they have the dead head, the big logo. I don't know nothing about no Grateful Dead. But the numbers are like tie-dye. Yep, they're fire. Like, Wisconsin has no hope, no chance. Like,
yeah, if you're walking out with that type of swag, like, it's a wrap.
They might hang 70 on Wisconsin this week in those uniforms.
They're coming with a purpose. And it's probably because last year Wisconsin actually hung tight with Oregon at Wisconsin. And so they're like, all right, we're pulling out extra swag this week. No hope for Wisconsin. Like, we're running these folks into the ground after what happened last year. So I got Oregon. And then the last one, rivalry game in-state, Michigan at Michigan State. I'm running with Michigan. I do not believe in this Michigan State team one bit, which couldn't come back to bite me next week when we play Michigan State at home. We'll see what happens there. But I'm not buying them.
No, you're correct. You are absolutely correct. Michigan looks like they are getting better every week, as opposed to Michigan State. I'm not sold on them.
All right. We're moving into the Gophers talk. So we are going to recap the Nebraska ass whooping that the Gophers gave. Number 25, Nebraska, now no longer ranked. But I got to get on some of these fans, folks, because look, I was trying. Yes, go ahead.
First of all, if y'all are not on Twitter and don't follow Kane,
Oh,
I checked Twitter at the end of the day on Saturday, and I just had to check on him. I was like, "Are you okay?"
dog,
Dudes were not. He was letting dudes have
I had to hit the Martin Lawrence Bad Boys too, like
it.
woosah, woosah, because I was just like, what are these folks talking about? Like, so first off, it was a late night for you, boy, because it was a late night game. I was at the press
Yeah.
conference. Of course, they stormed the field, so that took up more time. Then we get to the presser, and PJ took his sweet time, so it took even more time. So I only stayed for PJ. I didn't even stay for the players. And then I headed my ass over to the car because it was already hitting towards like 11:30, midnight. And I was like, I'm trying to get home. So I'm walking, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to throw on some of the Nebraska lives because I know we did our live right after. I'm going to go listen to what Nebraska's folks are saying and just hear, like, if they're like, man, we just weren't ready, like the Gophers came to play, blah, blah, blah. No, man, half the people we were talking about, some people were saying PJ and them outcoached them. I'll take that.
Mhm.
But they're like, this Minnesota team was horrible. They were bad. They were pitiful. They were downright a terrible program. But I'm like, hold up. Hold up. You can't call anybody a pitiful program, not even a 1-year thing, program, when your ass took 6 straight losses. Nah, you can't talk about
We are
nobody's
Big
program.
Brother. We are Big Brother.
For real, for real. So I was just like, I was mind blown. I was looking forward to them being like, they came to play. We had the better talent, but they came and they showed up and they took care of home field advantage. No, they was like, they were terrible and Nebraska just shat the bed. And I'm like, look, we put the pressure on them. We brought the pressure. Your line couldn't handle it. You got offensive linemen targeting. Like, y'all just didn't show up to play. And
Yep.
Minnesota capitalized. Y'all thought it was going to be light work, and it wasn't. But I was just dumbfounded, especially when I got people chirping back at me on Twitter, and they're like, oh, yeah, Minnesota's a D2 school, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, damn, so you lost to a D2 school 6 times in a row? Like, what does that say about you, my boy? What does that say about you? Yeah, you might have the media and the fans that talk all Nebraska, and that's all they care about. Good for you. But if you're going to call somebody else a D2 program, at least make sure you beat them. I mean, damn.
Exactly. At least once in the last 10 years. Like, it's crazy. Like, we're literally Big Brother. And I don't engage on Twitter, but I saw it and I was like,
need to
what?
get there. I need to get there.
What are these people talking about? Like, it was crazy.
Oh, it was crazy. But now I'm not going to be a hypocrite because as we turn the page to this week, Gophers cans, we can't talk sweet like that to Iowa because Iowa has done what we have done to Nebraska. So we need to step up. We need to play well. We need to bring our best in order to win. And if we don't, we're gonna lose the game again. We can't talk the mess to Nebraska and then act like it ain't the same thing over here with Iowa. We got to get right. We got to get it back. We got to get the pig back. We got to get back on track. We got to bring full energy. If anything, we saw this Nebraska game showed us what you can do when you put things together. Now you got to keep building on that. And we talked about that in the live. But let's talk about this game. Stat of the week on my end for the Gophers. It's not a good stat of the week, Tristyn. It's not a good stat of the week.
I thought it was going to be Darius Taylor with the quietest 150-yard game.
That is legit.
That's my stat of the week. Now we'll hear Kanan's sad stat of the week.
My real stat of the week, the missed tackles have to be fixed. In Minnesota's last 4 games, they have had 62 missed tackles combined in their last 4 games. They had 18 versus Rutgers, 17 versus Ohio State, 11 versus Purdue, and 16 versus Nebraska. They have 78 missed tackles on the year, putting them on pace to have 158 missed tackles on the season. Now, the last 2 years for the Gophers have been their worst years under Coach Fleck in missed tackles, and they finished at 132 missed tackles in both 23 and 24. We're talking about 35 more missed tackles on pace this year. We have to clean up the tackling. And Iowa is a team that if you have missed tackles, they will make you pay. So currently the best tackle grades on our team with 100-plus snaps played: Maverick Baranowski, 80 grade; Zaquan Bryan, 78.8; Jalen Logan Redding, 76.5; and Anthony Smith, 75.9. Worst tackle grades on our team with 100-plus snaps: Coy Parrish with a 39.8; Devin Eastern with a 42.5, Nate Becker with a 49.2, and Rushawn Lawrence with a 52.0. But we need those players to step up, especially Devin Eastern and Coy Parrish being two of our starters, two of our star players on defense. It's time to clean it up, because if you don't, we're going to be in some trouble in this week's game. So all in all, there are too many damn missed tackles, and that is my stat of the week.
I feel like we have gone 5 weeks in a row saying that missed tackles is a problem. Missed tackles is a problem. And we are definitely due. Now we've squeaked that not squeaked. We whooped Nebraska. But like, we're going to hit a point here where we're going to look back and be like, wow, if we would have made more tackles, we would have won this game. Like that's third downs, like getting the ball back. We have to make tackles. It's insane.
Have to. All right, so I need to know, who is your Tristyn Spann-Ford's That Dude's Good of the week?
This week, it's them dudes are good, because the D-line had 8 sacks this week. Just the D-line. I
was wrong. They had 9.
But Maverick was one of them. So I was giving it to the D-lineman.
Yeah,
right? Maverick had one?
I got you.
But, I mean, his was huge, too. But 8 sacks is nuts for just the D-line. That's crazy. 9 sacks as a team. So I couldn't just pick one, because I think that was huge. I mean, obviously, Darius Taylor finally had his breakout game. But the pressure we put on Nebraska, and like, we had them in shambles. That was massive.
Yeah, that was massive. You are not wrong there. My what the helly moment of the week, it's got to be, you mentioned to me, you texted me during the game, Darius Taylor. We got to get some white cleats, dog. We got to get some white cleats. I know it doesn't go with the uniform all the time and whatnot, but look, the breakaway run, if he had white cleats on, I don't think they're calling it out of bounds, because it was so close. But the black, just, you can see, it was apparent. Yep, he definitely hit the line. If you got them white cleats on, they might be like, oh, nope, that was just a cleat. There was probably grass between there. But they will make it happen. So the defender caught up, made Darius's foot slightly step out at the 1. Luckily, he got a redeemer later in the game. But I'm with my boy now. You got to get the white cleats.
I told you, week one. What was my first? That was my number one concern on this team.
You were there.
I apparently. So I watched the game with Brev, and I said the same thing, and he was like, I tried to talk to him. Because he had talked to the young guys, the guys on the team that he's still, he's friends. And he was like, I tried to tell him they got to wear white cleats. The black cleats, especially when they got lighter uniforms on, they're still wearing black cleats. That's crazy. So it's tough. He wouldn't have got caught if he would have had white cleats on, because you're faster in white cleats. Everyone knows that. Everyone knows that.
It's the blur. It's the blur. See, black, you can track black, but the white, it makes it a little blurry.
Yep.
All right. So the things we learned in this Nebraska game overall, the Gophers defense, when they bring the juice, they can compete with most teams. I'm not going to say all teams, because we saw what the hell Ohio State did. So if we're playing super teams, we're playing souped up, juiced up teams like Ohio State, I'm not going to say that. But when you're playing normal college football teams, the ones that are ranked, 20th or 15th, we'll go with 15th or lower, the ones that are like just outside of real playoff contention, I feel like this Gophers defense can hang with any of them. Like, they can play with them. If the defense shows up and plays and brings the juice and brings the fire, brings the pressure, then they can do it. But when they lack energy, when they play slow, when they get off to, like, it looks like they're hungover after homecoming. When it looks like you're hungover traveling across to the West Coast. Those are the games where all of a sudden you just see from the start, like, it's not there. But if they bring the juice, that defense can ball out. So we need them to keep on doing that, especially going on the road this week. We know we've lost both of our road games. Next road game opportunity, got to take care of business. The run game, we learned we can have success, and Darius Taylor is truly a difference maker. I think Ohio State, not sure why that was the game we brought him back. He only had 8 carries in that game, so probably should have just let him take that one off and rest. But I digress. He played in that game. Purdue, it looked like he was still working himself back into it, and things just weren't happening. But I think we finally saw Darius Taylor is either at 100% or damn near back to 100%. Looking good, feeling good. Get the white cleats on, we'll be moving good. But overall, the run game can find some success. And then the last couple things I have that we learned, that simple is better. The offensive line changes. After the first couple weeks, we saw people moving across the line. We saw Nathan Roy move to the right tackle. We saw Marcellus Marshus move to the left guard. We saw people moving all over each game. They kept doing new combinations. They went back to their original combination last week versus Nebraska, and they just drilled it. And they're like, let these guys do better at their positions that we started with. And they've had their best running game of the season. Like, let's keep it simple. Let's keep drilling down the positions that we know that they can be successful at. Let's not get cute. Let's not try to get flexible and versatile and crazy with it. Let them play their normal positions, and we can find some push on the O-line. And then lastly, the defense. If you don't have missed tackles, you'll do better. But overall, if they get pressure, the biggest thing is for me is if they get pressured, they can be nasty, because we saw all the sacks this last week. We've seen the other times Anthony Smith and others have gotten off and been able to really make a difference, push the quarterback outside of the pocket, get them uncomfortable. But when this defense can make pressure, they're playing at their best. So overall, those are the things we learned in this Nebraska beatdown. Anything else I'm missing?
No, I think you hit it on the head. I think it was huge. That offensive line point is huge. Like they showed that they can get the job done. They had way more push this week than they did last week, so I think that's going to be massive. And then as far as the defense goes, yeah, got to make tackles. You are correct. And making tackles is going to be so massive against Iowa. So yeah, you got them all.
Don't mind me just shaking my head in the background and like hanging my head right now. My Boston Celtics are getting ready to drop game 1 of the year. They were literally just winning with less than 2 minutes to go and have found a way to fumble the bag. We're going to miss Jason Tatum this season, man. It's going to be tough. But
well, at least you guys are losing to like a championship loading team in the 76ers. So
yeah, the ones that don't have Joel Embiid or Paul George or whoever
what
else.
Do you mean? What do you mean? Here. They're still in the middle of the process. So
yeah, apparently they don't need them because my Celtics are going to play like some scrubs right now. But let's turn the page. Let's go to this week's game versus the Iowa Hawkeyes. It is rivalry week. Where the Gophers currently stand right now on offense, they're 80th in the pass, 107th in the run, 78th in the scoring, and 105th in total offense. Overall, a lot of those numbers are either in the middle of the pack or slightly below the middle of the pack in the country, and we've kind of seen this throughout the Gophers season when it comes to offense. But on defense, the numbers are ticking back up, 41st in pass defense, which is their lowest category. Then you've got rush defense, 19th in the nation. Scoring defense tied for 27th, total defense 19th, sacks tied for 8th, and turnovers tied for 38th. So overall, the Gophers are starting to increase, starting to improve on those fronts back to the elite numbers that we were seeing at the beginning of the year. But Iowa, how are you feeling about Iowa as we turn the page there? Anything that you are on the lookout for in this matchup?
Iowa is the weirdest team ever to exist. It is so hard to look at their numbers and be like, "Yep, that's a 5-2 team." Like they last week their quarterback had 68 passing yards. Like it's so hard to just look at the box score. I was looking at past Gopher games from just versus Iowa, and like of the last 5, we've outgained them almost doubled, like 3 times, and we still lose.
Always find a way to win.
It's insane. This team is insane. Like we could beat them. One of them, it was like one stat line that they beat us in, and we lost by like 2 touchdowns. Like it's very, very tough to watch Iowa, but they're good. They find a way to win. Like it's just their culture. What's their coach's name again? I can't think of their coach's name.
Kirk Ferentz. Kirk Ferentz. Yeah,
but he has a great culture over there. They just find a way to win. They will beat you down on defense and do just enough on offense to get a win.
Iowa is literally the definition of win ugly, and I feel like Minnesota has really leaned into win ugly this year. They don't care how they do it; they just are like find a way. Iowa is the definition. They are literally what you look at when you're thinking of We don't give a damn how we do it. We don't care if it's special teams. We don't care if it's defense. We don't care if it's offense. We don't care if we throw for 1 yard. Find a way to win. And that's it. And that is what Iowa is, and I will give them respect and credit on that front. But like I mentioned a little earlier, I know we've been clowning Nebraska because we just beat them down and we've had their number. Iowa has had the Gophers' number. So now it's time to respond. It's time to play to a high level, play your best game. Put it all on the field this week and try to bring home the pig. Bring them back because I'm sick. I'm sick of hearing what you just said, where we win like every stat, and we still lose the game. Everything but the dub on the sheet. And I can't stand for it anymore. So we got to respond. We got to make it happen. And I think this week could be the linchpin in what could either be a solid year for the Gophers or a pretty damn good year for the Gophers. If you can win this Iowa game, you're already bowl eligible. You have 3 more games on your schedule that look very winnable in front of you, which means you could finish the regular season with 9 wins. It means you could finish the overall season 10. With 10 wins in a bowl game, in the bowl win. So it's like you have a chance to get to double-digit wins if you win this game. But if you don't, you could have a solid year. You can maybe bring home the axe. You know, if you take a Michigan State or a Northwestern, you're already looking at, 7 wins there. If you win all 3 of the ones after, but you just lose Iowa and Oregon, you still got an 8-win regular season, which is solid. But if you take this game, you can take a solid season into a really good season. So overall, I mean, it's a big one. It's a big one.
I agree. I mean, we said it last week, even like every game on the Gophers schedule this year, it is the whole season. Like we're at that point in the season where stuff is really starting to shake out for a lot of teams like Penn State. They're giving up completely. Their season is done. But we're one of those teams where this win is deciding how the rest of the season looks.
Yep. I'm with you 100%. Now, when we look at Iowa as a team, their defense, man, I looked at the numbers. Their defense is for real. No jokes at all when it comes to this Iowa team. 13th in run defense, 12th in pass defense, 6th in scoring defense, 8th in total defense. Now, they don't get a lot of turnovers and they don't get a lot of sacks, 68th and 81st in those areas. But overall, when it comes to bend, don't break, they're a top 10 defense in the 4 major statistical categories. They've got 2 solid cornerbacks in Zach Lutmer, TJ Hall, both graded very well, above average, only allowed 1 touchdown combined between the 2 cornerbacks. Their safeties are rock solid and are the 2nd and 4th best tacklers on the team with 41 and 37 tackles apiece. Linebacker Carson, I believe his last name is Sherrar. He leads the team in tackles with 45, plus he has a sack. And then you look at the D-line. Max Llewellyn, we talked about him in the offseason. He leads the team with 5 sacks. And then you can't forget about Ethan Herquette as well, who has 3 sacks from the interior of the defensive line. They've got dudes at each level of this defense. And like we said, Nebraska had a really solid defense, but they didn't have those guys that you're like, oh, we got to shut them out. Iowa's got those guys and they play as a solid unit. Like they've got guys at every level and they play as a solid unit. So this is going to be a bigger challenge for the Gophers offense. And the last time we played a top 10 defense, they shut us down, bottled us up and made us look silly. So the Gophers are going to have to find a way to respond this week if they want to have any success.
Yeah, it's going to be a battle. It is going to be a fight. This defense is no joke. I think it's going to be huge for us to control the ball. Like, we have to find a way to, I know, again, we're going against everything we kind of started off the season saying to PJ, but I think you control the ball. Like, stick to your run game. You know, after last week that the run game is there and we can make it work, but we got to keep the ball out of their hands. And then on defense, we got to find a way to create turnovers because again, like we have to control this game and we can only control the game if we have the ball in our hands. So it's going to be a big run fest. I have a feeling this is going to be ugly, old school Big Ten this week.
Yeah, we'll definitely get to those predictions here in a second. On the offensive side, from what I've looked at overall, they're actually pretty one-dimensional. They're a very, very run-heavy team. They're 34th in rushing offense in the country, but they are bottom 5. They are 130th in the nation when it comes to passing. So their quarterback, he can pass the ball. Like, I'm not going to pretend like he is just garbage if you make him pass, then they can't do it. He's a gamer, though. He is a man who has won wherever he's played. He won a natty with South Dakota State. He won Walter Payton Award, which is the FCS Heisman. He won it over Max Brosmer. And also he's a dual threat. He gets it done on the ground, but he also has passed for 65% completion, so he definitely can get it done through the air. But their run offense isn't just like Caleb Johnson like it was last year. It isn't just like one dude who really takes it over. They have 4 players with over 200 rushing yards. They have Kamari Moulton, who has 360, the quarterback, who has 289, Xavier Williams has 245, and then Jezion Patterson, who has 198, damn near 200 yards. That's crazy to me right now.
No, that's absolutely nuts. That's when I was looking at the box score from last week's game, and the quarterback had 130 rushing yards. I mean, granted, he had one 167-yard run, but that's still 70 rushing yards that from a quarterback is nuts. So, yeah, I agree. They do look like they can throw the ball, but again, they don't, because they're Iowa, and they just are going to just ground and pound and score 7 points and probably beat you.
Yep. And their wide receivers aren't anything special. They have a wide receiver who's really good at returning, but overall, the wide receivers themselves don't do a whole lot. But then you come to the secondary. Not the secondary. You come to the special teams. And they've got a difference maker. Wetjen is their returner. He's one of the best returners in the conference. So we got to make sure we don't kick it to him, man. Just don't kick it to him. We saw what Cooper DeJean does. We saw what the call that happened, and that was, and I stand by it. Those were the rules.
We can't do nothing about the refs.
Right. We play by the rules. But they have another really good returner, so let's just not put it in his hands. Like, let's just
don't worry about it.
Out. Our punter can punt it out. The keys of this game before we dive into our predictions: if you have missed tackles again, this Iowa team is going to punish you, plain and simple. Their quarterback is a big dude. I think he's like 230 pounds. So, he's a dude who's going to lay the wood when he's running the ball as well. So that's key number 1. You got to keep the fundamentals strong, get those tackles. Overall, your O-line has to repeat the protection of last week. This is a real test. Nebraska's run defense was asked. We knew that heading into the game. This Iowa defense is truly a top 10 defense across the board. And the last one you played that was a top 10 defense shut you down. So the offensive line has to come to play in this one. And then the third one is something you said: turnovers are everything in this game. In this rivalry, if you lose the ball, you often lose the game. So you have to make sure you take care of the football. And if any turnovers happen, it's the ones you're forcing.
Yeah, it's going to be a huge game for this D-line. I hope we didn't get too high on ourselves after this last week where they played super well and re-leveled. I mean, I'm sure PJ, if it's Iowa week, PJ was probably like, yeah, this was sick, but it's Iowa week now. He probably handed out game plan sheets in the locker room after the game. And so not
according to the Nebraska fans. Nebraska fans said they are our Super Bowl, and that's who we game plan for every year. But okay, I digress. Keep going.
We don't even play them every year. Like, what are we talking about?
Too much corn.
It's crazy. But yeah, I think it's a huge week for this D-line. It's going to be their run-heavy team. We have to create turnovers, and we have to be able to get pressure when we do get in those third down situations. We have to still be able to get pressure when they're tempted to throw the ball. So I think the D-line is going to teeter a lot on the outcome of this game.
And my Boston Celtics lost by 1 point on a missed buzzer beater to the Philadelphia 76ers. Apparently, Peyton Pritchard is the man that's taking the game-winning shot opportunities, not once, but twice. So, Jaylen Brown, I know this is a Gophers podcast. I will get off this topic. What a way to start the year, my guys. Come on.
My Wolves. Actually, I'm going to just say our Wolves because our listeners are Wolves fans.
Nope, I will happily join you with our Wolves. As long as they're not playing the green team, I am with the Wolves as well, so I'm with you.
They just started, so cleanse your palate with that. But they just started, so again, we will be in bed.
We're going to get Ant. We're going to definitely be watching Ant and all the magic. He's about to have his MVP season.
Love it.
All right, let's move into the predictions. We're talking this Iowa Gophers game. First things first, Drake Lindsey pass yards. I've got the line set at 184.5. So 185 or higher or 184 and lower.
I think it's going to be lower this week. I don't like picking unders because it's boring and it's not fun. But I think it's going to be under. I think that it's going to be a big run game week for us.
I'm going to take the over. I think last time we played Iowa, I don't remember what Max Brosmer had, to be honest, but I remember that Iowa's defense shut down our run game. And just based on what we've seen Minnesota do this year with the run game struggles, besides that Nebraska game, I'm more of a I'll believe it when I see it, and I need to see it more than just against Nebraska. So I think we're going to end up having to pass the ball more in this game. So I'm going to take the over on 185 for pass yards. And as I bought myself some time there, Max Brosmer had 209 yards last year. I think Jake Lindsey can get somewhere similar to that in this week's game.
Yeah, I guess I like your logic in that pick. I guess when I'm picking, I'm just thinking of what is going to happen. I'm not thinking about what they're going to stop.
That's fair. That's fair. All right, we're not even going to take the pass yards line for the quarterback on their team. We're going to take the rush yards. Mark Gronowski, I have his rushing total set at 70.5. So you think he's going to go 70 yards or less, or do you think he's going to go over on that number?
Way less. He's going to go less. I mean, he might rip off one or two, but this D-line's going to have him bottled up. Like, he ain't never seen Anthony Smith coming off the edge before.
Oh, I don't know what to do here. I'm going to take the under as well. I'm tempted to take the over. I'm not going to lie to you. I think that they're going to. I think they're going to have
a lot of design runs? Do they have?
No, a lot of it is scramble work and whatnot. I mean, they might have a designed one or like an RPO look where he keeps it a lot. But like, I think a lot of it is more natural scrambling too. But the thing is, when we aren't able to set the edge, that's where other quarterbacks like JKS, like Dylan Raiola even this last week, and Athan,
Brown even got away from us a few times.
They get out on the edge, and that's where they find them. But they usually are hitting someone down the field for a pass opportunity. Whereas this dude's like, "Oh, you're letting me roll out? I'm gone." Like I'm getting 15 here. I'm getting 12 here. Like, and that's where it starts to really add up because you're talking about a 15, a 12, a 13, and all of a sudden you're already looking at 45 rush yards just from him right there. And it's like, ooh. So I think it'll be close. I think it'll be close to 70, which is sad to say.
That's insane.
All right, Darius Taylor rush yards. I've got the line set at 87.5. So you think he goes 88 or higher, or do you think he's under on this one?
I am going to stick with I think we're going to run a lot, but in this instance, I feel like we're going to have to go committee. Like, we're going to get, Fama Ejabo is going to get some carries. Give me the over, but I think it's like just barely over. I think you set a perfect line.
I'm gonna go the under. I think he's gonna be around 75 to 80 yards. But I think it is going to be tough sledding. I think Drake Lindsey's going to be forced to pass the ball a little bit more. I think I was going to stack the box and be like, look, I think we can try to force this quarterback into some turnovers. I don't care if he's looked good at times. He's also had some mistakes at times. So we're going to try to capitalize on those mistakes. And I think he's going to stack the box. He's never afraid to stack the box against this Minnesota team. So I'm going to go under.
I kind of like that idea, the idea of them doing that, though, because I really think our passing game is as up and down as it's kind of been. I feel like it's still kind of underrated for some reason. Maybe that's just because I have blind faith in Drake Lindsey. In Drake Lindsey, we trust. So,
all right, total yards given up by the Gophers defense. How many yards do you think Iowa's offense is going to load up this week?
It's so tough. This offense, I tell you. Give me two. I think it's going to be such an ugly game. 245 and a half.
I'm going to go 330. I think 330 is the mark that they get. I mean, yeah, I'm gonna go with that. I'm sticking with the gut. All right, first touchdown. I'm going first. You've gone first the last 2 weeks now. So first touchdown, I am going to go with Lemeki Brockington. That connection has just been really nice. I feel like it's going to be nice again, so I'm locking in Lemeki.
What about a little Drake Lindsey rush?
That was the first one this last week, so
we never know.
It's hit before, it can hit again.
Exactly.
I'll go Darius Taylor then. I think that they are going to try to find a way to punch him in there.
Give me Ejabo.
Okay. All right. Will the Gophers score on their first drive?
Yes, but it'll be a field goal.
All right, I'm going no on this one. I don't think either team is going to score on their first drive.
I just love the Gophers' opening script a lot of times. Like, it feels like the opening script is awesome sometimes.
It was against Ohio State, but I feel like the last few, it's been like 3 and outs.
Yeah, we haven't. Yeah, I was going to say we haven't actually scored on any of the opening drives of the rest of them.
All right, how many turnovers do the Gophers get this week, if any?
Actually, oh man, I'm going 2. John Nestor gets 1 revenge game if
Hopefully
he plays. I hope he plays. He's got to play. I mean, he's got to play. I don't know what he's got, but he's got to play.
I feel like he was close last week, so I feel like they're doing everything they can to make sure he can this week. But if he's not ready, they won't put him out there.
Yeah, I know, but he's got to be ready. But you got to play no matter what. So don't play if you're hurt, but also play no matter what, even if you're hurt. And so a pick from John Nestor, and let's go a Devin Eastern fumble.
Okay. I just want to add salt to my wound. I know nobody else cares, but I'm passively watching this basketball game, right? I told you they lost. The headline on the bottom of the ticker, Celtics fall the 76ers in season opener after blowing a 13-point fourth quarter lead. Love to see it. What a hot start. Woo, boy. Absolutely love it. All right, I'm going 1 turnover for the Gophers this week. I think Coy Parrish is the one that gets it, get himself back on the board, get that second one up there. And Cooper DeJean, I'm sure, is going to be in town watching. We established at the beginning of the year that it is during their bye week, so I'm sure he's going to be in town. I'm sure it's going to be nuts. And Coy Parrish is going to be like, I am the new white safety who also returns and does the big things.
Love it.
So Coy Parrish, lock it in.
I love it. That's actually
you already did it. All right, who leads the team in tackles this week?
Zaquan led last week. Shout out to our boy Zaquan. 8 tackles. Am I correct? Sometimes I'd be saying stat, and I just need you to back me up on it because I'm just saying it because I read it one time.
I will double check it for you as we go. Yes, you are correct. He led the team with 8 tackles last week. Carter Menz second with 7.
Who was second?
Carter Menz.
Oh, damn. Okay. That means it's got to be a Maverick week because you want your linebacker to get a lot of tackles.
You're going Maverick. I am going to double down on my picks here. I told you at the beginning of the show, Coy Parrish has the most missed tackles for your Minnesota Gophers so far this season. I think he's going to get it right. I think he's going to clean it up. He's going to get the most tackles, lead the team this week, and be like, look, I came to play. Let's make it happen. So Coy Parrish leading the team in tackles this week. All right, how many sacks can the Gophers get on this quarterback?
I mean, let's get spicy. Let's say 4. 4 sacks. Wouldn't that be fun? Ooh. Let's just say it. Here's the thing. We're just saying things.
But we're talking about a mobile quarterback who can get out on the run. It's going to be tough, dog. It's going to be tough.
You never know. We had 9 last week. This is light work.
He wasn't mobile. We're talking about Timu Mahomes over here. Like, it ain't like that.
He did make a pass that was like he was parallel to the ground instead of taking a sack. That could have been 10. Didn't run. Hey, why not?
All right, you got 4. I got 1. Okay, I got 1, and it's Anthony Smith adding to the collection.
Oh, yes. Anthony Smith.
I'm not going to make you list your 4 because that's just too many to list on this one.
No.
But yeah, Anthony Smith has been a dog. Leads the Big Ten in sacks, tied for the lead with 7 overall sacks. I think he's adding to it this week.
His face mask is so cool. It should be illegal. It's so intimidating. I'm surprised they don't blur it out on TV. My oldest is like, Dad, I want to try to get that face mask next year. I was like, sorry, buddy, you're not going to play 8th grade football with that face mask. You go D1, you can wear whatever face mask you want. I was gonna say,
you ball out by junior year, you get them offers. Like we'll put whatever face mask you want on. All right. Do you want to pick first for offensive player of the game or defensive player?
I'll pick first, and I'm gonna go
for which one? Offense or defense?
I feel like I want to go offense, and I'll take.
Right, you're up.
Drake Lindsay.
Okay, Mister, we're gonna run a lot.
Well, yeah, you talked me out of it. I have him on my. That's number one on the list. But then you talked me out of it. I'm like, what if he throws a lot? I got to sprinkle a little bit everywhere.
All right. He's trying to cover his bases over here. I'm gonna go with.
Yep.
I'll go with Darius. I was gonna get hot. I was gonna say Lemecki, and I was gonna double down on it all. But we're gonna go Darius Taylor. We'll make it happen. Big game from Darius. All right. On the defensive side of things, I'm not gonna triple down on Coy, though. I don't have fears on doing that. I am going to say, if he plays, let's lock it in. I'm going John Nestor. Get that revenge.
That's the right
get that thing going.
That's the correct pick.
Into existence. Yeah.
I'm gonna go Anthony Smith then, since you took John Nestor for me.
All right. Time for the final score. Now, look, I'm gonna go first because I need to set the bar. Tristyn. You know, I was wrong last week. I said the Gophers were gonna lose, and they happily shut me up. I ate crow on the live post game. I was like, maybe I should pick against them again just to keep that motivation going, but I didn't. Now, I did a podcast yesterday. Iowa guys asked me to come on, did a prediction. I've changed my prediction since then. Yesterday, I said 24-20 Minnesota. I have now changed that answer. I'm going 20-17 Minnesota. I've lowered the score. I was like, that is too damn high for an Iowa-Minnesota game. We are not putting up that many points. I know it's only a 4-point difference and a 3-point difference, but that's a lot when you're talking about Minnesota and Iowa.
That's kind of where my brain was. Like what we've had 12 to 10 games against Iowa.
Yeah, what got me a little bit. So the line is at 38.5. So when I did that before, I was at 44. That felt way too high when you're at a 38.5 line. So I was like, okay, and we tweaked it. We're down to 20-17. That's 37. So I'm within 1.5 points. I like that. It feels more comfortable. That being said, Iowa right now, they're averaging like 29 points a game, believe it or not. 29 points a game. They had 34, 16, 47, 38, 15, 37, and 25. So they've been up in them 20s and 30s most games this season.
That's making me want to change mine. Okay, I'm going to go. No. Golly, man. Okay, I'm going to go Gophers 21. Iowa 19.
Ooh, okay. There it is. He's putting it right at 40, the clean 40. That's going to be a tough number to get, but I like it. I don't hate it.
See, that's it's too many points. It's too many. I don't know, man. This is
watch it be that hot 7-6 game.
I think that's what I literally. That's when I started reading. I was like, okay, 13 to 10. Here we come. Like, but here we are. That's what I'm putting in.
Oh my God, Tyrese Maxey dropped a 40 ball on us. I am just salty all over the place.
Basketball doesn't even start until Christmas, dog. Don't even worry about it.
You ain't even wrong. But you know what? JT's out all year, so basketball's over. It doesn't start till next year. All right, I want to ask you 3 big questions before we wrap this thing up. What is your biggest worry in this game?
Oh man, it's got to be the tackles. I feel like we're beating a dead horse, but it is the tackling. The tackling. If we don't make tackles in this game, we will lose. Like we like even like you picking Coy as the leading tackler, which is definitely possible. Obviously, he does other things scheme wise. If the running back is getting to Coy, that's an issue. Like he's running through too many people to get to Coy. Like we have to make tackles.
Yep. You're not wrong there. My biggest worry, I'm going to say the offensive line versus an elite defense. We just have to see it stand up, and we haven't seen that so far, so I am a little bit worried about it in this game. When we talk about what gives you the most confidence, for me, it's last week's momentum and success. Hopefully they can continue to build off of it. Now you got the monkey off your back, and you're ready to keep charging forward, capitalize on the things you did well, and keep building on it. Hopefully that helps the Gophers head into this game with some extra added motivation.
No, exactly. Yeah, you know what it takes now, and you have to continue to execute at that same level, or it doesn't mean anything.
Yep. Last one, out of nowhere player to have a big week. I will go first. I'm going to go Matthew Kingsbury. He is one of the players that got a sack last week, and when you watch that sack play, he absolutely demolished the person in front of him. He ran straight through them to get to the quarterback. And I think that play alone, when they went back and they watched that film, they probably rewinded it 3-4 times. Look at this. This is you. This is what you are capable of. And this is why your snaps are going to tick up this week, because this is what you can do. So do it every week. And I think that gives him the added juice to be like, oh, I'm going to show you why I need to be on this field. So I'm going Matthew Kingsbury.
I'm going to take a shot. Like I said, big running week. So naturally, I'm going to go with Malachi because you've talked me out of the run game. But I do think, he hasn't had a monstrous game yet. And, we have a lot of wide receivers that rotate in. So maybe he has a huge week this week. He's so fast. He's faster than anybody on the field. So
yeah, we got the flash out there on the field. Now I'm hoping it. Speak it into existence. But that's going to do it for us here at the Gopher Broke podcast. Be sure to hit subscribe over on YouTube. Follow wherever you get your podcast. Leave a 5-star review so others can find the show. We crossed the 200 subscriber mark, and we're only doing it once a week. So, slow and steady, but we appreciate y'all tapping in. We've got some loyal commenters now. Some guys that followed us over from Locked On have now found the channel again, and they've been diving in and loving the content. We've got some Ohio State fans that are tapped in and also pulling for the Gophers just out of respect for the show. So we got love for all of y'all, and best
probably
of luck.
Not many Nebraska fans, though.
Nah, not many Nebraska fans, but, we're okay with that. We're just a D2 program that happened to beat them 6 times in a row, and we're just going to own that. So it's cool. But overall, we hope you will hit subscribe. We'll see you next time. Row the boat, Sky. You might go Gophers as always. And please don't forget to hit subscribe.